Alright, this video is going to show you how to actually go through the process of making the blogs. Some of you have been absent some of the days you've gone over it. You might have been confused and a little nervous to ask for questions, so this video should hopefully answer any questions. If you are still confused after watching this video and looking over the samples that I provided, please come see me. Alright, whether it's after class or another day, and we can go over it in more details and address your individual questions. The first thing you need to do is go into your social studies folder on Drive, go to your current events folder, and open up a new Google Doc under the current events. While you're watching this video, if there's a step that I ask you to do in the video and I move too quickly, like I type faster than you guys, just pause the video at that step and then resume it once you've completed the task. So if I say go to social studies folder, go to current events, okay, and I'm moving quicker than you, just pause at each step, at each instruction that I give you, and then resume the video so that way you don't fall behind. The whole point of the video is you can watch it at different times throughout the year if you're ever confused about the assignment. It also allows you to move at your own pace. So if I'm moving too quickly or I'm moving too slowly through something, you can move through it at a rate that fits your needs. So you need to open up a Google Doc under under current events and title it blog 1014. You will title your blogs under your current events folder blog and then the due date of whatever the first or whatever that blog is due, whenever that blog is due. So the first blog is due on October 14th, so your document should be titled blog 1014. Some of you might have started it when it was originally due the 7th and have it under 10/7. That's fine. What you need to then do is write the following: title of the article, okay, summary, and reflection. This would be a good spot to pause the video because I type faster than you, so you might want to come back to this. So you can pause it here and then resume it. After you've set up your document, you're then going to find an article on Newsela. And the reason I recommend Newsela is because you can read it in Spanish if it's easier for you to read in Spanish. Don't forget that you have to write in English. You can also pick a level that works for your reading. So some of us are reading beyond grade level, so we might want to use the max. Okay, some of us are reading at a 12th grade level. Okay, some of us are reading closer to a 7th or 8th grade level. Some of us are reading at 6th or 5th grade levels, and some of us are reading below that, and that's fine. Do not pick a grade level that's too easy for you. Do not pick a grade level that's too challenging for you. Find one that's a little bit higher. We've talked about what grade level you read at. You can ask me if you're confused still or if you forgot. Okay? What you're going to do is first you're going to read the article and you're going to summarize it. One of the ways I recommend summarizing it is summarizing in chunks. So what you'll do is you'll take a section like this, read this section, and then write a sentence or two about that section. So we'll work on this one together, and I'll give you an example of a summary. Okay? These days, the U.S. has fewer teens in prisons than it used to. 15 years ago, there were 76,000 people under the age of 18 in prisons across the country. Today, there are fewer than 36,000. More and more teens arrested for crimes are being offered alternatives to prisons, such as counseling. Still, about 80 large youth prisons remain open. Some people would like to see them shut down entirely. However, not everyone agrees that is realistic. Here are 5 quick questions and answers that help explain youth prisons. Okay, so now I'm going to summarize this section in 1 or 2 sentences. So what I'm going to do is say, title of the article first. I forgot to do that, I'm sorry. I'm going to take the title of the article, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to hit Control and C, and then I'm going to go into my document, hit Control V. That font's too large, I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, that's our title of the article. Now I'm going to summarize that first section in 1 or 2 sentences. All right, so I'm going to look through this section and identify the key characteristics or the key sentences of that section. One of the key parts of this section is today there are fewer youth prisons than in the past, and some people would like to see youth prisons completely removed and replaced with counseling programs. Okay, that's a sentence that summarizes it. Okay, did I include every single detail from this section? No. All right, I decided that that was what I took away from this section. You might talk about the difference in the numbers. You might talk about the number of prisons. This sentence, though, summarizes that section. Then I'm going to read the next section. So I would read this section and then summarize it. Okay, so then I'd have a second sentence here, or a third sentence. It could be 2 sentences for a section that summarizes that section. I'm going to go through the document and summarize each paragraph with a sentence or each section with a sentence, and then my summary is done. So instead of reading this whole thing and coming up with 5 or 6 sentences to summarize it, I'm going through section by section or paragraph by paragraph and taking the most important ideas from those smaller sections to put together a larger writing assignment. After I've written my summary, of course, I'm not done here, but I'm not going to walk you through each step. I then do my reflection. All right? You don't have to type this down. Again, you do not have to type these down. There is a graphic organizer that has been provided, but here are some questions to consider when you look through the reflection. What did you feel? Okay? Meaning and emotion. Did you feel angry? Did you feel sad? Happy when you read the article? Okay? Is this connected to your life? Is this connected to something you have studied? Okay? There's going to be current events that you read that you might say, oh, wow, this is very similar to a concept that Mr. Cuddy talked about in class. Okay? This reflection for me, okay, you might want to start the article, when I read this article, I felt, and then whatever you felt. So for me, I might start it off with, when I read this article, I felt excited about the new possibilities for, spell that, possibilities, for younger people who are arrested. I believe that programs for people who commit crime should be focused on helping them fix their issues rather than punishing them. Prisons simply punish criminals, but if we create programs for counseling, they can ultimately rejoin society and be productive citizens. And then I might talk about a specific thing. All right, maybe I talk about whether it saves money or not. Maybe I talk about the reasons for shutting them down. All right, but the reflection, it's I. You're talking about yourself, emotions you feel, a connection you made, okay? And you can look at these connections and kind of restate them. You might read something, and you don't have to answer all 3 of these questions. These are just things to consider. You might read an article and not feel connected. You might read an article and not feel an emotion, and that's fine. But these are the guiding questions that are going to help you with the reflection. Once you've completed both your summary and your reflection, again, this summary should be a paragraph, okay, 5 to 7 sentences. Our reflection should be a paragraph, 5 to 7 sentences. It can be longer. Okay, if you do a really great job summarizing, it could be shorter. I'm really interested in the reflection. Okay? I can read an article and I can tell you about it, but I can't tell you how you feel about it. So I'm curious what you guys think about things that are going on. There's an election going on right now. It's a very exciting time. A lot of emotionally charged events are happening in the world. So if we look through those, it'll make you enjoy doing these assignments more. That's why I asked you, not really asked, just one of the requirements of the assignment is to pick an article that you're interested in, because it's much easier and more enjoyable to write a reflection when you have an emotional reaction to an article rather than just reading something because it's an assignment that you want to get done. All right? Pick articles that are interesting to you. If you have more questions about this, please see me. There are samples provided. Okay, and then when you're done writing your summary, your reflection, you'll post the article or the blog post onto your blog. The directions for that is in another video that is also going to be posted on the same page of Classroom. So if you have questions, please see me. Hopefully this cleared up the confusion that we seem to be having.